want.
One, two, here.
Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to Studio Central's Friday art demonstration, brought to you live here from Upbeat Artworks in Portage Place Shopping Center. If you've never been here, we are a gallery space on the second floor of Portage Place. We're just past the Dollarama. You can't miss us. And a bit of background about who we are. We are a part of Artbeat Studio. So we have Studio Central, we have Upbeat Artworks, and we are both two programs that provide a safe and welcoming space for an arts community living and working through mental health. We're all on the spectrum of mental health. We have highs, we have lows. And at Artbeat, we really believe in destigmatizing the idea of what mental health is. And I think that art is a really critical and very helpful way to navigate all of those highs and lows. So we're here today to do some art for you. So if you are watching, please settle in, relax, and Kate will lead us through how to work with resin part 2. So if you missed it last week, we did a live video about resin. We did some work with jewelry pieces, and then we created some pendant pieces. So we're gonna follow up with some of the work that we did. We did some resin with rocks, and we're gonna see how it turned out and what things that we need to continue doing to make this resin process complete. So I'm gonna flip the phone around and we will see Kate. Hi, Kate.
Hello, happy Friday. I hope everyone is doing all right. Still exhausting winter
Yeah.
and cold, and the bus is away. But we'll
And we have
be,
construction across the way.
yeah, we are getting a new place opening soon here. So we're hearing all the process of assembling it together.
Yes.
Okay, so I will start with a very short overview with what we were doing last time, but on the example of what we have here. We have different types of resin today, which I'm not going to use the epoxy resin, but I'm going to show a different one, not the one I brought last time. So for rocks, all these rocks, I use the epoxy resin. And we can just look at this and show them a bit closer maybe.
Yeah.
This one was done with jewelry resin for the research, let's say.
So these are we painted resin on these last Friday, if you saw. You can really see that really cool finish that resin creates.
It's very nice to touch if it's properly mixed. It cures in 24 hours completely, inside and outside. It is recommended to leave it in a place that is not too humid, not too dark. Well, some people do leave it in the dark because in case of epoxy resin, it does not get powered up by the sun. It gets powered up by parts A and B. So part A is resin, part B is a hardener for resin, and this is another kind, and it says 1:1 ratio resin and hardener.
I'll show it.
So
So these are the two that we mixed together last week, right?
these are different ones.
These are different?
It's a different kind of resin. I did not open these bottles yet. So I cannot really say how it works because I just got it and never used it.
Okay, thanks.
So the resin we were using last time was art resin, and they're bigger bottles too.
Right.
But this set, it's a kit assembled by people who sell resin on Amazon. So it includes these sticks. It includes
Oh, cute. So this is the kit you got on Amazon?
Yeah. There are glow in the dark powders to be mixed with resin, which I'm going to try.
Okay, cool.
Not instantly.
Very cool.
There is this little board for working with resin. Contrary to the mats I was using before, a mat like this, you're not a kit pad mats like this.
Okay.
But this is a
Yes.
different kit.
Yeah.
I got a pair of gloves
Okay.
and
And these are the mats that we use where we.
yeah,
This
and some
mat here.
instructions.
Yeah.
Some instructions on how to use resin.
Cool.
I do not give too much information on that because you can always read that online. You
Yeah.
can find a lot of that. So I don't want to overload no one's attention and
Yeah.
spend time on that. So what we've done with epoxy resin was rocks. Okay, which mistakes can be done? So people can try leave rocks on things that stick, and then after that it's hard to take them off. There are a couple things that I can just show that they are not working. So I just brought a regular bag, but it has plastic bag that says Ziploc on it. So this is the type of bag I will not use for resin. It's a different kind of plastic. It sticks, and also, especially this side, it transfers on the resin. So I'd say this one is not recommended by me. And also the big bag that we used last time. It stuck. So in this case, we will need to sand the rock
Yeah.
right here. And sanding process, it's usually either sanding paper. You can use a knife too before to cut it off, or you can just sand it. So this kind that says Ziploc or any kind of plastic that has an image in it, not recommended to use. But I recommend using plastics like other ones. As an example, I bought something in a plastic. I do not throw it away, or old ones that I used for jewelry. I would use them for keeping stuff. And here, as an example, I will be talking about that one later, but
Yeah.
this plastic does not stick.
That's
That
interesting.
plastic stuck. So
Yeah.
you just need to know which plastic works, which not.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for me, it's also reusing old bags.
Yeah.
So these work perfectly, and something that, like that works really well, like if it's a small one. And the plastic from cards that I would say, you would buy a card in a plastic, these work too.
Okay.
So most of the plastics work, but these two do not. The ones I used last time, the big bag, and this Ziploc kind. So that's what I discovered so far. To the touch, they're really nice. This rough edge here, it's usually what shows up in case if resin goes underneath. You
Right.
cannot prevent it from doing that. So in this case, you just want to, let's say, sand it a little bit. Oh, it's hard to do in a mask. And you can use either
Just like a nail file.
regular nail file, it can be metal or not.
I'll try.
This one is not as comfortable, I'd say. But you can, and also we can use sandpaper. It's either or.
So this just helps to alleviate those edges.
Just a little bit, but just to look neater, let's say.
Yeah. Yeah.
In this case, because the plastic actually got stuck.
Yeah.
So just need to clean it a little bit. Also,
Will we be able to, do we re-resin this after we get this, or we just sort of just file it down?
no, just file it down, and you can either just wash it in water or wipe it with anything,
Yeah.
and it's done.
Nice.
And for rocks, I do not really say you have to put all the attention to the back because it's not what the attention is. The attention is in the front. Okay, so this is something you're getting, and then I just have a baby wipe I can use instead of using water. So here.
Nice.
Try this file. This file is nicer. So it just gives the needed.
Yeah, just smooths out those edges.
Smooth it out, that's it. You don't have to remove all the resin because it's the bottom.
Yeah.
You don't have to. So this is more or less.
Nice.
This one was stuck a lot. So I will be filing this. I prefer the file to sandpaper.
Yeah, the sandpaper is almost like too rough on it. But this file is working really nice.
It works. It can take off resin, but again, it's the bottom.
Yeah.
It can take off resin completely if you just scrub it across the spot that does not have too much resin. In some cases, I put resin just on top.
Yeah.
If it's a small amount. If it's a big amount, it's something like that. So showing that this material can be very thin and it can be very thick, depending. So if you see this edge, you can touch it and you can look at it.
Yeah.
So when resin is too thin, it's like plastic literally. Or it is plastic.
Yeah, yeah.
But here's the example of unfinished piece that is thin. I did not feel it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so the difference here between jewelry resin, I would be talking about later, and epoxy resin. Epoxy resin is used, it's also called surface resin. It's used for surfaces. So if you really want to cover a surface, that could be, I'm not talking about tabletops, I'm talking about art pieces.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now. So it could be a canvas, could be a box, like this. So this is basically how resin would look like if it's a one single layer inside. Just as an example,
Yeah.
how it looks like on the inside of the box. So
And
you have the choice, you can repaint it in resin or you can just leave it this way. But
Yeah, it's
shine.
beautiful. That finish, resin has such a unique and distinct finish. I love it.
All right, so we are done with this part,
Okay.
with the rocks, and they will go in the Studio Central garden right
Yeah.
after the demonstration.
If you're ever at Studio Central, which is in Portage Place as well, we have a kindness garden where we paint on rocks and we put things on rocks, whatever people want, and people can take a rock, they can give a rock. It's a really cool, a really popular thing.
It is.
It really took off.
I'd say I bring rocks 3 times a week, every time I am here.
Yeah.
And the next time I come, there's like one left or none left or, yeah. And it's not only me, it's artists from Studio Central who paint rocks and
Yeah.
bring them there too. Okay. Examples of jewelry. Okay, before switching to jewelry, this is a heart that my daughter made, but I just painted and resined it on top. It's a collaboration project. So this is the plastic painted and resin twice.
So this whole piece,
It's plastic.
it's plastic, okay.
And it's
Nice.
resin on top, so it's shiny, it's glossy. It will not get off this way.
Yeah.
It just keeps it in.
And
So
what did you use for the color?
for the color, I used a combination of, my daughter used just markers, regular markers or Sharpies. And then I went over with some acrylic paint and some paint markers
Yeah.
and some cat hair. No, is it cat hair? It looks like.
Yeah, yeah. So Ace had a hand in this too.
Yeah.
That's Kate's cat, Ace.
So it's a collaboration.
Collaboration piece. But that's cool. I
One
love
hair,
the way
one
resin like locks it all in, eh?
And I put resin twice, and I also use Mod Podge to make these thicker, and then I use a couple layers of paint too,
Yeah.
and paint marker and some layers. So it's just a mixed media piece.
Yeah.
Jewelry resin is a bit different. And before talking about jewelry resin, I want to talk about gloves. If you have a kit that you buy, you can get two, maybe a bit more sometimes. So buying gloves is easy because they're sold by Giant Tiger, and this one is from Walmart, this package.
Great value.
And it's at about $10, I think.
Okay.
Around
Around
$10.
$10. Okay.
So the set, you can buy a cheaper one, half of the size. I just got the big one. Or you can get a smaller one in Giant Tiger, it's just a smaller box.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think other stores will have it too. I
Yeah.
just don't know. And buying TPE gloves, they're huge. And you tried working with one of these on your left hand.
Yeah.
These are not the best to use,
Yeah.
but I use them on my left hand because it's not my operation. With jewelry resin, there are several things and tricks that people might use. And they're not only for creating something unique, they're basically a process of getting acquainted to the materials that can be combined and which way they could be combined and which way they could not be combined. Jewelry resin used on a rock needs to go through a lamp, and the lamp is right there plugged in the computer.
Yeah.
Considering the light that is here, it never helps.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Because we talked about sunlight being
yeah.
like sort of really important. But we're in a tunnel. Basically, we have no light.
So the lamp, I could use it the same way as I used it at home, and it would not be enough light. So I'd say the first try is usually adjustment to a place, if
Yes.
it works or not. So it did not really work the perfect way for the rock. In this case, curing time is up to 14 days.
Okay.
For the resin that is not old again, as I
Yeah.
say. Jewelry resin does not have to go through mixing. Where is it? I just put it somewhere. Oh, here it is. So UV resin is used together with a lamp or on a very sunny place.
Yeah.
And the curing time, complete curing time is 14 days, up to 14 days. If for longer period of time it does not cure, it means it did not have enough light. And what can be done in this case, you can just place resin on top and re-resin it again. I have another kit here. You can buy different kits for single things on Amazon. Some people buy this separately, some people can get this in a kit. Some people can buy this separately. These are powders that are being mixed into resin to have a nice look.
Yeah.
And these are not the same shine as something you'd buy from Dollarama. The sparkles you buy from Dollarama, they're not as fine and not as glittery. So some artists would say it's something that you can try by yourself or just look at it in a way that if you want to go into research, try it yourself, look at it again.
So cool.
So it's just personal rather than.
It's a really neat piece.
Yeah, so some pieces I brought just to show the difference between good and what can be not really good. So this is a combination, by which point it's resin, and then when you pour just simple paint, so that's the difference. Resin dries really nicely,
Okay.
but when you would pour a paint in a container,
Oh,
it ends up like this. So in this case, the recommendation would be to just cut it off. And I got the two knives here for working. So I would be just cutting this slice off. Knife works too. I just didn't want to bring to portrait place a huge knife.
Yeah.
So- Okay, so resin can be cut, sliced in a nice way.
It looks like it cuts nicely.
Yeah.
Cool.
I would prefer a different knife, but this is what I have. Okay, so knife is not easy to use. It actually is really nice looking. It just needs to be sanded on both sides. And you see, usually when resin dries on this side, it dries like this.
Yeah.
So our task
So then you
now,
have to like, is to get these out.
yeah.
Okay.
So we need to take them out. What you would do? What you would do?
So this is what we had poured last week. So this was resin, and for this one, I think we just put some gold glitter into it. You can see. So now we are gonna work. It's had a week to harden. So now we're gonna try to. I am gonna try to.
It's the part that no one likes, I think. No one likes it.
What's the secret?
The secret is just to push it out, open it a little bit here, try to disconnect it from, some people might want to use knife, but for me, what I was doing was just literally,
Yeah.
I don't want to damage the side, because if you damage it, you can try polish it after, it would not look the same.
Yeah.
It would not look nice and see-through. So it's the finish that you don't really want to. So,
I think it's, yeah, it's a way of like getting it loose from the.
yeah, so we're just taking some time to get it loose and pushing it out. Might take some time.
Yeah. Oh, this is great. I'm so glad we're doing this right now. Like it's not coming out, but I'm having a good time.
It's not the simplest thing to do.
Oh, it's like free from it. It's just a matter of.
Yeah, you can try and kind of take it a little bit off and push this way.
Cool.
There.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah. Yay.
See, it's got a little bit out.
Well, some of them can be easily taken out, some of them are hard, really. It looks good to me.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
I twist it and push it kind of almost like a screw. Oh, there we go. Look. Here, I'll do it for the camera. So it's just. Oh, look at that.
Awesome.
Gorge.
Beautiful.
Whoa, this is so cool.
It's great.
That's so weird.
Mhm.
Fun.
So for my, yeah, I will just remove everything that we don't need right now. Okay. Okay, this resin I'm not going to use. I just was going to show
Yeah.
the bottles. That's if someone wants to try, I dropped this little piece of glue in here and it makes like a hole or something, but it looks fun. It creates a texture that goes in. It's not actually a texture, but
I see what you're saying.
so this is what I did a long time ago. I painted something,
You can see that little.
and then instead of putting glass on it, I put resin on it because I wanted a foggy effect. But I also dropped a piece of glue, crazy glue like this, I think, yeah. And added some little tiny bit of paint, so the resin holds it nicely.
Okay.
So this way you can see a hiding tiger, and that's the piece I'm selling here. So this is, actually, it's not jewelry resin. I think it is a mixture of A and B.
Okay.
Okay, jewelry resin. This is clear. Actually, no, it's NB2, I think. I do not remember which kind of resin I used. But anyway, these are different things you can put inside.
Yeah, like actually that's a great.
Usually the
So you can
tray-
see, so this is resin, but then we put gold glitter into it, into the mold. But this is resin, but then Kate put these really cool mechanical, what do you call them, gears?
Okay, and then this one is a combination. It's probably maximum paint you can put in. Otherwise, it stops. If it's too much paint, it stops mixing with resin if you don't mix it. And it kind of creates like a whole look inside with the paint in it.
Yeah. And do you think if you put too much paint, would it dry properly?
It would dry as paint, not as paint and resin.
Right,
So
right.
this is the example of, so.
And so this is resin and paint mixed
Yeah,
in.
so this is resin, powder, and paint, and painted on top. And it's not done yet because it needs to be cut and sanded.
Yeah. Nice.
And this one is just painted on top, but it's a little bit sticky. And as you see, it goes out with some resin that is on the side. So it needs to be cut off again
Nice.
and sanded.
Cool.
Okay. Also, here, this is what we were doing last time.
Yeah.
So we basically took jewelry resin, mixed it with what? With powder. Okay, so where are the bases? The base looks like this. It's the base.
Yeah.
Bases can have one or two connector pieces that are being connected to something else. So this is an example. What can be done with it? It could be two earrings or one pendant.
So you can see that's was the base that we were working with, and then putting the resin in, you're able to create these sort of cool jewelry pieces. So then I'll show them the ones we worked on. So these are actually what we ended up with last week. So again, that same base, but we just put this resin, the darker one. What did we put in the dark one? Was that like a black or?
It's black powder.
Yeah, yeah. And this is that glitter. So really cool what you end up with.
Mm-hmm. And intentionally or not, sometimes it goes out, and it's resin when it's poured around, by mistake or not, again. For demonstration, it's good to have some offs because we can show how to fix them, right?
Yeah.
So in some cases, you can just take it off with nails or polish it with something like this.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal if it goes around. What we what I was going to do was to actually paint something in the center.
Yeah.
Maybe something small that does not take away from the nice shiny, right? So something that would not cover it all, but would be a magical touch or something. So it could be a little tiny image made with a paint marker, and that's why I brought the paint markers here today. Also, I wanted to start with actually working with this, installing the little piece like this. So let's start with this first and move on to another technique. Okay, which one do you want? Do you want gold or silver?
I will do gold.
Gold?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, should I?
So first of all, there are options. Actually, I need the board now. Oops. I need the board. There are options, and one option is to just cut it. Another option, which is easier for me, is to take this tool and cut the edges off. And this is a different tool. You just want to lay out like this here. But you can try this maybe. I don't know if it works or not.
Oh yeah, like
Clipper.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can try this one, you can try this one and see. I never tried.
Yeah.
So I do not know if it can be used or not. Because this one is probably the best.
You just trim the edges.
Yeah. So where's my? Okay, here. It's right here.
Well, this works pretty well.
Mm-hmm. And it actually feels good too to do.
It does. It's like, yeah.
I do not know if I can actually get everything cut off because it kind of goes in the center and it's a lot of sand. So in this case, I would just cut it.
Okay.
And there is another knife there. Hello.
Hey. Hello. Good. How are you doing?
All right.
Oh yeah, I'll check. Oh, no way.
Oh my gosh, it's outside this week, getting cold.
Yeah.
Like last week, it was nuts too.
Yeah, last week was pretty. Finally, like tomorrow's supposed to be like -6.
Yeah.
So a bit of a.
We're supposed to be still on Monday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Like really? I got no place to pilot.
I know, right?
Thank you. We're dealing with a motorcycle Monday. I don't know if I'm gonna get it now.
Yeah.
Russian made in trains, so.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, how am I gonna get parts?
Yeah.
And it's funny though, it's a Russian motorcycle built in Ukraine.
Yeah.
You can fly, you're fighting, right?
Yeah. I just want to ride my bike. All right. What do you think back for our little live demo? Yep. Thanks for stopping by, Connor.
Yeah, have a good day.
Yeah, it was good to see you. Have a good one.
You too.
There is a bubble here that I do not like.
Okay.
So I just go cut it again because I want to get rid of the bubble.
Okay. Oh, so you're like that little divot?
So in your, here it also went down quite a bit, so I would cut the
Like
whole
toward the
bubble,
bubbles,
yeah.
okay. Ooh. Hi.
Okay. Oh my God.
I see it. I'll get it. Clink, clink. stand.
home, I do it with a big knife like that.
Yeah, yeah. Stand clear. Art demo in progress.
Broke. Okay. I'll need to wait. Bigger one. It doesn't work too. Here I have a little piece left. I was thinking of taking a big knife and then I'm like, I'm going imported place.
Yeah.
And I don't want to bring this knife here. So what I can do is,
I don't know when it started.
Yeah.
Scissors worked all right.
it can.
The biggest parts, one of the biggest takeaways from art and doing art is improvisation and how you can, you know, roll with what is given to you.
Okay. Not something I can do with the scissors. No, cannot. I just cannot.
Well, I guess we can still cut through the charts.
Well, there is a little piece here that is not cured yet.
There we go.
You can do this?
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's sand
There's
it.
still a slight divot. I think
Yeah,
I'll
so
sand it.
this and this edge can be just sanded maybe.
Sure.
Let's try. What's the best?
Try this one.
This one, or this one?
Oh yeah, this sandpaper works really well.
Yeah? Okay. So then we can just take a wipe again, wipe this side.
Yeah.
So to make it exactly really nice and even is not simple. And even if it's super even when you do it, when you start putting the little things in, it might get, the glue might change the surface. For this reason, some people just cover it with paint, some artists, and that's totally okay.
I like, looks pretty good, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I sort of sanded it down. It's pretty even here. There's like a slight bit of a divot there, but it actually looks nice the way it goes.
All right, so in this case, there are two options. The first option is just to screw it.
At the very top.
So usually I use this side for actually doing it because I want to.
Ooh.
So we can just screw it simply,
Okay.
and the resin is not completely cured. So the lamp, we could put more light in it here. So we could either just simply screw it. I don't want to touch this part because it's the nice bottom that
Yeah.
would be visible. So I would say I can just put it in simply like this, rotating it, to take it out, put glue, and put it again. So it's literally taking glue.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah.
Or there is another option, drill it a little bit. But in this case, I don't know if drilling makes sense because the resin is not completely done.
Yeah.
So to show drilling, again, instead of here, I have this example, so it might be more visible. So I want to drill several holes, and this is hard resin, right?
Great.
Just for an example.
Cool.
And what they offer is several different attachments. Where is the drill? I have too many things here, I cannot see
The
it.
piece?
No, the drill pieces that were in the box, or were they? Oh, in a bag, here. So these are the other sizes
Okay.
and for different purposes. I just used the original one, or was it the original one?
I think that was the original, yeah.
Just keep working.
And you find, does it drill in like fairly easily?
Yeah,
Yeah.
very easy. So here, this is the big one. Big round hole. So this is the beginning of drilling, and here what it did right here.
Oh, yeah, so
You just show. So it's, I can take a smaller version.
Nice.
And take the smallest. This one is the smallest. It's tiny.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I'm gonna put it in. Oops. I cannot put it in. I need to use something else.
Oh, like the attachment. Yeah.
Yeah,
probably that thing.
this one. And then put it in.
Yeah.
No, I actually do it differently. I put this inside of this.
Wow.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's complicated. Oh, okay. This one can be taken out, this one can be put in here, this one can close. It can go out. Where is it? I'm losing it. Something to play with. Okay, it went out. Okay. In.
That's so tiny.
Yeah.
I love it. Teeny tiny.
Okay, it goes in. So to fixate it, I'm not the, like with tools like this,
Yeah.
I have no idea what to do.
Wow. Yeah, it's pretty.
That's why I
It's pretty
just.
cool, though.
It is. It obviously is. So how it works, you just put it here. Maybe I put it on the wrong side or what? Thinking. Okay. Needs to go out. Okay. And they're different too. Okay,
Yeah.
so this one works here. There. Okay, let's try.
Yeah, which is all perfect with jewelry making tools. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I do not really know. I just know how to drill, okay? I don't know how to. So here there are holes with different sizes. And you do not need a big hole usually
Yeah.
because it's something that you want to put some glue in.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Starts doing something. Okay, so these are 3 different sizes that I tried, and that's what it does. Okay, I just
Nice.
want to put everything back right now.
Cool.
I never had a problem with the big one, and the smaller ones are a little bit trickier. So I just use a bigger one, it's easier.
Yeah.
So it's basically drilling it here, putting some glue. Okay, this glue is not the glue I use usually.
That's like a crazy glue or.
Yeah. Okay, it's the one you need to coat really with. Okay.
Sure.
Should be open. There,
Yeah, it's
there,
open.
I opened it. A tiny bit of glue and screw. Okay, and let it dry. Let it dry. It's not super even now because it's not cured completely. It didn't let me go in the very center.
Oh, this still looks really good. So you can really see.
Yeah, but it shows the fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So same here. I just need to cut this off somehow.
Do you want me to try?
If you can. And also there are these little trays for little things. This one's easier a little bit, but I usually prefer the ones that can be, well, if you make something like this, you can also use a screw if you want it for a jewelry piece. But these are some things that you can make and apply it on a pre-ready base. Or just use them for scrapbooking or something else, but
Yeah.
it's something that I'm not really into. I usually look for the ones that have pre-ready holes that you can put in for jewelry making, so you can use connectors to attach one piece to another.
Yeah. This one's tough. This one's hard.
It is.
This one's extra because mine was still. This one was still not as cured,
Yeah,
so it was very like actually soft to the.
and it will dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is like this is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Because eventually, like this one's still soft, but this one has that hard.
Do we have more knives? Just need another knife. This one does not go out. And this one broke.
Yeah, I don't think we do.
Okay, so I will just bring it home, maybe,
Yeah.
cut it with a big knife that I use at home, because it's
Okay.
just a huge one and you just
Yeah,
slice
you
it.
just I know what you're talking about.
It's not easy to make, but it's not this.
Yeah, and you can't bring, like you said, a big knife on the bus.
Basically, it's again cutting off, sanding with sandpaper or this, and using either a drill or just screwing this little piece inside,
And then creating.
taking it out, glue, and putting it in. All right. So we can move on to this.
We got one down at least.
Yep. Okay, these ones. So need to. And this glue does not have any cap. So if I don't use it right now,
And that's it.
that's it. It's gone.
What can we glue?
I need to glue something. Okay, just put it here. In this case, working with jewelry resin, you can paint something on top and then you can connect it in either way. So this is one of the simplest ways to connect the little connector
Oh, I love
piece,
that.
attach something underneath. Can be anything. And then it's a little piece that is not obligatory, but it just makes it easier and nicer looking. After you make an image on top, this image was done underneath and resin was on top of it.
Yeah.
In this case, we first put resin with sparkle.
Yes.
Then we do not want to take away from this one. So the image is not the same like here, that goes all over. It will be something tiny that would not cover the something we made last time. So for this purpose, I'm just showing these little pieces. So let's say we have a horseshoe and we have a peace sign.
Nice. Oh yeah, yeah.
And we have okay, could be anything. So I have hearts, I have this made out of glass, so we can attach literally anything that has a hole in it. So I will just show different versions. Okay, then we have the connectors. Of which size? I will size like this. So it goes here, here, and here. Okay.
Nice.
Blades. Okay, then on this side, it can be attached to something. And this something can be a hook if it's an earring.
Cool.
Let me see. Okay. So it can be a hook or it can be this little piece if it's a pendant. So it's basically what is the simplest way. It could be a bracelet too, it could be attached on both sides to
Right.
a chain. That it's imagination of the artist.
Cool.
Or follow up. What else here? What else here? So this tool is very handy when it's about a little something to pick up, but when it's a lot that went down, we have to use a knife and sanding paper.
Cool.
Okay,
All right.
so we will photograph this as an example. So it's visible how it's attached, and in case of earrings, we might need this piece, or it doesn't have to be there. So it can be depending on what you want to do with it.
I think I want to make it like an earring.
Yeah. Okay, so with this, here's paint marker.
Okay.
Paint marker will need to be resin again.
Okay.
So if we put paint marker on here and we do not resin it, it will get hot. So we will need to apply a little tiny bit of jewelry resin on top and use the lamp.
Okay.
So in this case, which one would you want?
I'll start with one of both. One of each.
All right. I want to find the ones that are filled even like in the same way,
Yeah.
so they could be used for earrings. So I want to make earrings. I could leave it plain, but I want to add something. Like I'll take this two, and I'll take this one for a pendant or a bracelet. I'm thinking of a pendant. It looks fun.
Yeah, some of them are like nice and full.
Mhm.
They all
And
turn
also
out
we
pretty
have a
well.
mixed one like this.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got 4.
Okay, so black paint markers are right here. And I would say it's better to not use black at all.
Yeah, I'll probably try to use a lighter color.
Yeah. It's, I don't say it's not good, it's just not the right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can try white, and we can try, could be just 2 simple hearts,
Yeah.
very simply because I do not show my painting ability here. I'm just showing what and how can be done, so everyone
Yeah.
can go with whatever. So it can be something else. I'll see.
Yeah.
And then I just need to make the same exact image on both for earrings. And what else I want to do is to resin it. And then, only then when it cures completely, I can move on to assembly.
Okay.
So let's see. I want to take 1, 2,
Ooh, the pink would be nice.
I want to take all of them.
Yeah.
Why not? Okay. So if you work on mini sizes, it's something you have to think about, that line work does not always get in. You might want to go with a little bit of pointillism sometimes.
Yeah, I think I want to try.
So you can try. Let's say I want to.
Oh, nice. I want to put yellow on the gold. Markers are great.
Mm-hmm. They're really pleasant to work with. Vertistro are one of the best ones for me.
hard. Like I can do the dots. And doing the dots okay, but to think about designs, that's on such a tiny space. It's fun.
I usually do not use brown for stuff like that. Oh, this gold looks good.
Yeah.
So the rest I'm just, so whatever you can see, I covered almost all of it, but you still can see through some black.
So I did this sort of little spiral moments.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's nice.
So this one is going to be, I would assume it's pendant.
Yeah.
Okay. So in this case, whatever we're done here, if you take a wipe it off now, it will not stay, or if it dries, when it dries and you use your nails or put it together, it will get off. So in case you wanna keep the image inside, you can always just resin it, wait, 'cause
Yeah.
you have to. Yeah, too much waiting to do. Waiting for the bus can be just, I don't wanna wait, but I have to.
I feel yeah.
Oh, this looks awesome. So basically in this case, we keep it shiny because I don't want to cover what's underneath it, right? In this case, we can see it through a little tiny bit and we can see the shine of the black. Depending on light.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to try.
So here I might add something else. I will wait until this dries and then I might add some.
Okay. So for me, I did not like what I just did, so I used this cloth to
Yeah?
wipe off markers.
All right. I'm actually thinking maybe I will need to wipe this down
Okay.
because I covered all the black that I wanted to see. But it looks good on black too. So maybe I will keep it. I'll keep it. And then more than one layer is appreciated. If it
Oh,
goes,
that's so good.
yeah,
I love it.
looks great.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so in this case, we're doing all right. This is the assembly instruction basically. And we can put the tools here. And also we need to put resin because resin is actually something that we put on top
Right.
when it dries.
So once this paint, or once the marker dries on here,
Yeah.
the paint markers, then we will take the,
We'll
that
take
resin.
this, a little, we actually can do it in, I think 5 minutes when it's
Okay.
completely dry. I don't want to touch it now because I
Yeah.
don't want to smudge it.
Yeah.
So let's say while we're getting ready for resin, it will be enough time.
Okay.
So let's put this back in where it was, right here. Okay. Okay, I did not use one of this because I'm going to take it home. Or you want to take it home and take this and just screw it in.
Sure, yeah.
Glue it.
I can do that.
Yeah,
This one's
Very
very hard. It's
because
like,
you can set it at home and that's, just
Cool.
take a big knife and, and this little
this one's
piece.
still drying.
So you can use this and this.
Oh,
And
okay.
maybe even glue will be, probably not.
Well, I have crazy glue at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can do that.
So we just put it here. And this is already dry. So this can be also connected to something, or you can just use chain, just depending on which kind of
Yeah.
chain. But also you can paint it right here to make it
Right.
different.
Yep. Cool.
Okay. I'm just thinking about, okay, we can use these gloves, but it's not enough for you. We can just compare gloves that we're using last time to this. And we have 2 that were in the new kit. Here,
Yeah.
here we go. 2. I actually, you know what, I'm going to use just 2 because we don't have to use all, like, I can do it or you can do it. Really easy, touching it
Oh,
on top.
maybe you. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You're the pro.
Okay.
Kate, you do it.
All right. All right. Any questions?
So far, no. Yeah, if anyone has any questions, I know this is a much more complicated form of art. But if you do have questions, please throw them into the comments below. We always check back, so if not today, if you see this 2 days from now and you have a question, throw that into the comments and we always see them. So happy to try to answer. Yeah. Cool.
Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm just taking a little tiny bit
Yep.
of jewelry resin. And I want this board, but this board comes with resin. I never tried it. So I will put it on this board and see how that works.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, why I do not have the top thing, I attached it, and while I was pouring it, it fell off last time, so I don't want to do that anymore. So just take a little tiny bit on one finger, literally, one finger, just goes on top.
Nice. Oh yeah, I have a really a nice tight close shot of the jewelry. So now you're just taking just a little bit of piece, like a little bit of jewelry resin right now,
Yeah.
and we're covering what we've done with the Posca marker. So we took Posca marker, we put some designs on top of our resin jewelry, and now we're using the jewelry resin to sort of seal it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool.
And then we will use the lamp.
Yes. So you guys get to see the lamp again. The UV light. And this is just a way to seal in that Posca marker, because if we didn't seal it, then later, like, it would rub off. So this just makes sure that that design
Okay,
stays.
so this is done.
Cool.
I want to close resin before I take everything off.
Okay.
And then I want to put it in, again, that in the bag.
Okay.
I don't have my bucket here. Okay. And then now
So now we do the UV light.
I can take this off
Okay.
and go use the UV light.
Now we're going
Again, if I don't have this board, I would use this plastic. Okay. Oh,
Here we go.
first.
So as we're walking to the right, you can see we're in Upbeat Artworks right now. We have our little setup here.
Oh, great.
So now this, we used this last week. This, some of you might recognize this if you've had your nails done before. There's another type of light like this that you can use to put your hands in to dry the acrylic
This is-
stuff.
Oops. Oh my God.
I'm
Oh
blind.
my God. There.
And so this, we're going to use that same like UV light technology to dry the resin that we've put on top of the accessories. So
Oh, yeah, I have a mask. Boy. Silly. Okay.
Ooh, and it just turns on. So how long do we do?
It does automatically, but I do not like this idea. I just feel a bit more confident when it doesn't.
So you can see our accessories, our jewelry is in the hot seat right now.
Get away from the fumes and stuff.
Yeah. I like the fumes.
Well, it usually says it's better not to be around it.
Okay, it's done. Do I do it again?
So we just put it on and you can leave it. Just turn it on
How do I do that?
anytime, whatever you want to do. There. Just put it on sometime.
Yeah.
And then we can just go here. Because it will be taking time to cure.
Okay, so we'll go back.
Alright. So, I think we did everything we're planning.
Okay.
Again, we're working with two different types of resin. One is the epoxy, which contains resin and hardener. Usually in the instructions, some kinds of resin are not 1:1 ratio, like 50-50. Sometimes it's a container that hardener comes in is a smaller one, so you need to use like 30% or whatever.
Yeah.
But the resins I was working with were all 50-50.
Okay.
So I was using stuff like that. Instructions, honestly, if you go through instructions, you can learn something. It doesn't stay in your head forever, but you can also research stuff online, and there's lots and lots of resin. Glow in the dark powder, I will try, never tried yet. So I'm doing something else here. This one, I want to do this little thing with a tool.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I want to do before I sand it in completely, and that would be a jewelry piece, but I don't want it to be bulky, so this is what I'm doing. So this is a jewelry tool that you can get off Amazon or other locations that sell jewelry equipment. I cannot really say if Michael sells this. Not sure.
Yeah.
So it's just something I got off eBay a long time ago.
Yeah, no, I like, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, on Amazon you can find anything like that. And I just clip this off first and use either sandpaper or you get a better, I don't know, I just feel better with the nail file rather than...
I feel like there's that one in particular,
Yeah.
you know?
Okay, so this is what I'm doing here. Polish. Also, I will mention that there is polishing powder that you can buy also. You can try it, but I'm not sure that someone would say me that they recommended.
Mm.
Probably not.
Polishing powder.
No one recommended it yet to me, so I don't know.
And how are the sides?
So this is something I
It's already
have
looking way better.
right now. So I just cut this off, use the
Cool.
file.
So this is before it was really, really rough, and now it has a nice, way smoother edge, and all those like little bits of stuff that was hanging off are no longer.
Okay, so this one, the resin was stuck. So basically, if our nails do not work to take it off, right here, if we cannot get enough power with nails, we would go with something to sand it the same way as we did with everything else.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is just put this here. Okay, I will put some. Okay, this is an example, and this is the way it's being attached in case if you want to make earrings or a pendant. But there are definitely more combinations than, okay, this one can be here.
Cool.
I'm thinking. Okay, glue, crazy glue.
Yeah.
What else? We can include tools.
Cool.
We can include this. I do not want to include this knife. It's
So we do recommend it if you are cutting into anything resiny, have not a box cutter.
yeah, I would prefer a knife, but again, I did not want to bring knife to portage place and
Yeah.
say this big knife I'm using
Right.
at home. Yeah. Okay, and some tools, clippers. I don't know if you do not have this tool, you can use a clipper.
Yeah, I used a clipper on mine, and the clipper worked really nicely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so in case, and then sure, I want to put resin by itself.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they always put mixing supplies that I never use because I just mix with my fingers. Sandpaper.
Yeah, it's pretty. I think this is just, you've seen all this laid out.
And
You realize how detailed some of these mediums can be.
even can just put it here so it's visible that it's possible to use.
Yeah.
Powders I never tried. Again, never tried. So what else? That is it.
Yeah, and then what we'll be doing is, because later today, like, so we're waiting for those pieces to dry, we're going to end up connecting them and making some jewelry pieces out of them, which we can post. I'll take pictures and
And
post them.
I can add a couple of rocks too.
Yeah. So we'll have like a whole series of photos around this demo that we'll post later today. Yeah, nice.
Everything. Yeah.
Groovy.
Okay.
Okay,
Ready.
right on.
Ready. Now I just want to clean my fingers.
Yeah,
Do you want to?
yes, I do.
Yeah, okay. Resin is some good material, perfect material to work with, but it's also can be really, okay, this one is the piece I made with resin,
Mhm.
acrylic paint, and paint markers and glue that I dropped here. This was an example of
Yeah.
something I made a long time ago. So this is the effect I received with,
Looks good.
yeah. So this can be an example too.
Awesome. Okay. All right.
Cool.
So what we'll do is, as we've laid things out for you to see, we will take a picture of this, like layout, so then we'll post on the after this so you can actually look at the picture and see some of the details of the tools that we were working with today. Tools like the plier pieces that we have, but then also alternatives like nail clippers work really well. So being resourceful as an artist can be really helpful when you're in the process of creating. So.
And I probably don't need this, even though I went through them, but it's not every person gets information the same way.
Yeah.
So me, from reading something, instructions, they do not stay usually. So it's just from what I do, what someone else does when I'm involved.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to watch YouTube videos too if it's something. So it's, let's say, if I try it, I know. If someone else tells me, it doesn't mean I know it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if it connects to something I have done in the past, that would be something I would say, oh, I know how to do that.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't tried this exact thing, that it connects to something I tried.
Yeah.
Right?
All right.
All right.
Okay, well, I'll do a little final words here. So thank you very much for joining us today. So that was Kate. She was talking to us about resin and sort of different ways we can approach this medium. This has been my first time working with resin. I will say it does have an odor. It's a pretty strong odor, but it wasn't too bad. It reminded me of kind of like paint, I guess. But it definitely has a bit of that scent. So if you do have any scent sensitivities, I would say just maybe have a proper mask when you're working with resin. Otherwise, the end result, when you see the pictures that we post, it's really cool the way the resin forms those shapes in the pendant, the way you can fill in those metallic accessory backings that we're currently have under the UV light. There's a lot of different ways to work and play with resin. So yeah, that was great. Thank you, Kate.
Thank you, James.
Let me just put this. So everyone have a great weekend.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right.